Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament stream. Today we are streaming from the official Blitz channel and we're streaming nothing else than the official grand finals from the spring season for the EU server. And basically the matches are just going to be epic. I'll take you to the garage, the room invite will be up in just a little bit. And let's have a look because the top 4 has been quite epic. And these are the clans that were there. Raid, the first one knocked out, who of course used the ticket system, well the loophole, in order to get here in the first place. So I'm actually quite happy that they're not in the finals for that. Loka, third place. WoT valiantly managed to get knock Raid out because Raid being there, of course skill-wise they have it. It was the ticket system that made it questionable. And Loka knocked them out, but then lost to EG. And now we have EG versus Legion in the grand finals today. And like I said, that's going to be absolutely epic. I can't wait for that. Legion has been in sublime shape pretty much the whole season. We've seen meme battles from them, but also some really serious epic gameplay. I've not seen EG as much as I wanted to, mainly because everyone was streaming them most of the time and that meant that I could not. But the battles that I have seen of them, if they are having an ace game day, all bets are off, anything can happen. And I'm really excited. Room invite should be up any moment now. And then we'll go into the room and prepare for the battles to come. And basically it's been a rocky road. We've lost Brian Rolling Swarm as a streamer. And basically from there on out there was lots of drama. And even though I know I could never be as technical or sublime a streamer actually as Brian, I will do my best to make this entertaining or at least understandable to you, because the thing that I focus most on is what they're doing, what has to happen, and why stuff is happening. For the competitive player base, that is a bit boring because they already know all of that. But for the average player, they will not be all that aware of it. 4.5 minutes left to go. Both teams are completely there. On the other side we see Rip. He is streaming in German. If you want to see this basically be commentated on in German with his camera work, definitely go to his channel, watch there. Legion already completely read up. We are starting the battles off in Vineyards. And let's see, here we go. Vineyards look like this. You have 3 bases. Base A and B close to their respective spawns. Base C in the town, a little bit more back than where it shows on this image. And I honestly really love this map. The way that the hills work and everything, it allows for a lot of peek booming and a lot of ridgeline work, and that is something that I really enjoy in the game. So we're just going to have to see what they do. We've seen heavy action around base C throughout the tournament, but also just players very cheekily grabbing the base closer to the enemy spawn when the other team is focusing too much on the city side. And basically both these teams have what it takes to do this, so I'm very eager to see what happens, and I hope you guys are even a little bit excited too. 3.5 minutes left to go before we go into the match. We have Legion now completely readied up in a 268. We see 2 140s, 2 IS4s, an E5 and a Sheridan. And on the other side with EG we see 2 IS4s, 2 140s, a 113 and a Sheridan. 2 Sheridans even. And Sheridan is a tank that is pretty much, this is the last time that you're going to see them like this, because it's getting hit by the nerf hammer quite hard next update, and I'm very happy with that. I still feel the missile should be removed altogether, but that is not something that Wargaming wants to do. And we will just have to wait and see what happens. I hope the nerf is enough. It's getting a huge mobility nerf, and the missiles will be nerfed in maneuverability as well. So we'll have to see if that's enough, and I hope that if it's not, that Wargaming will continue to change it. 2.5 minutes left to go. Orca is not readied up at this stage, but they still have plenty of time. In the meantime, we have the Grand Champion of Asia server, that is ID, followed by RN, second place, Feast third, and E7 fourth. For RU, I'm not entirely certain about the whole top 4, but I did hear that Mercy knocked out E7, 7 star, with a 5-0. That is not something that you see in the finals often, and I really hope that's not what we're going to see here tonight or on NA later on, because basically as streamer you want as many games as you can get, but also the teams have fought so hard to get here. I do feel that they deserve better than a walkover. But we'll still have to wait 2 minutes before we see the first match in this best of 9. Best of 9 meaning that the first team that reaches 5 victories is the one that is going to be the grand champion of the spring season. And honestly, I've been saying it, I will say it again, I'm excited. These are really the teams that I was hoping for in the grand finals. Mainly because I know the people that are behind it, I've met some of them. And it's awesome. E.g., of course, last year, going to the Twister offline. Legion, a couple of years back, taking it home, winning the cup. And some of the players that were there in the team then are still there in the team now. And it's going to be awesome. This is basically the matchup that I've been waiting for the whole season. We had a taste like it last Thursday, and that was epic as well. And I'm hoping, I said it then, I was hoping that we would see this again in the grand finals. And if the matches on Thursday were any indication of the matches now, we're just going to have a heck lot of fun. Kind of have to watch my language here. On my own channel, I don't mind dropping an occasional cuss word all that much, but on the official channel, I do have to watch that a little bit more. But yeah. Half a minute left to go before we go into the first match. And then we'll see what they do with these tanks. It has actually been fun to notice that with the heavy buff, the E5 and the IS-4 are making a huge comeback. The mouse and the E100s are being used more. But it's that speed boost on the E5 that allows it to be a lot more mobile. And the IS-4s, of course, always a competitive tank. The armor and now also the extra HP. It makes a big thing, a big advantage. And here we go. Into the first match. One of my favorite maps. And let's see. It would help if we actually load in. There we go. And thing is, Sheridans have been used so much this season. Oh, I like that. Sheridans have been used so much this season. The missiles have been absolutely impossible to stop. They have the mobility of people running away so fast. And just the tanks being able to shoot without actually having any risk. Both bases are being capped, but Dakidas having driven into the base just that tiny bit earlier will mean that Legion will have a tiny point advantage, but it will be absolutely tiny. Base C is completely ignored. Basically, we have a base A-B standoff here. Juicy taking the first hit by Spacey there. That is the key point of the missiles. This is a good position for them. And we have Legion pushing at the back. The 2-140s pushing into Engie. EG immediately going for aggressive gameplay. Winch losing a bit of HP. But basically, EG is pushing in. And they're pushing in really brutally. Engie almost gone already. Winch taking a massive hit here. Whoopsie. Basically protecting Engie here. Juicy losing more HP as well. And EG is going in full stop. Gloves are off. And it's going very fast. Juicy is the first one to go. Now the 140s are moving. They've basically split the Legion team up. But now the 140s, General and Winch are in trouble. Rashford taking another hit. And now General is the second gun gone. But base B is now being stolen. Winch is still alive, if barely. And he is behind Object 3. He is just basically a one-shot and still driving around killing people. Whoops. Reduced to a potential one-shot on the other side. Engie not looking too healthy either. Orko almost reloaded. He's going to be gone. There he goes. This is one of the fastest games I've seen, especially at this stage. EG making a very class act move here. Radicals, the next preferred target. Legion only has 3 tanks left. Dakidas is at the back. And he is currently being ignored. They want Radicals. They want Last to be taken out. And this is some really class game by EG. So aggressive. Unpredictable. Unexpected. And that is what is giving them this game now. Dakidas going in. Being stopped a little bit by Spacey. Nicola almost gone. He is going to be gone. He's the second gun gone from EG's side, but there goes Dakidas and there goes Lost. And the first game is over in 2.5 minutes and EG has it. What a game. Wow. That was so fast. Those 140s just pushing. Brilliant move. Backed up by Rashford in the 113. Just over 2.5 minutes in total. And the first game of the best of 9 is already over. So now, of course, Legion will have to regroup. We're going for the second match on Vineyards. Anything can still happen. No real pressure on either side just yet. This was just the beginning. And Nicolade now taking the 113. We see General in the Leos, Orca and Spacey perhaps as well. And then we see Rashford and Edgar in the AMX 50Bs. And Winch in the Object 140s. Taking so many Leos and so many Clippers can be a bit of a risk. They do have that accuracy and the mobility, but they also have the lack of armor and the HE ability, basically. Wow. And on the other side, we see Legion now completely read up in a 268, 3 Chevrons, 2 IS-4s and an E5. Taking more of those missile derps and more of the mobility to get out of tough places fast. But I am very curious to see what EG is going to do with this. These are the tactics that they have been holding, basically. These are the trump cards. And oh my god. This is so cool though. I'm one of those people, I generally am quite chill. I'm not often that excited. But in this case, I'm really excited. Both for the matches, but also with the move that AG pulled just now. That is just brilliant. This is exactly the kind of gameplay that you want in the grand finals. It's awesome. And here we go, countdown clock has begun. We are ready to go into the second match of this best of 9. And here we go. And really, so many Leos. And then those Clippers, that's a huge risk as well. But then so is taking 3 Sheridans. But then we've seen games earlier today where basically one team took 4 mice and the other took 3, so anything can happen. And here we go. Let's see what they're gonna do now if Legion is going to hold another push like that. And let's go up, up and away. Legion focusing a bit on both sides. Dakoda staying in the spawn. With the IS-4 going towards base A. Base B is completely being ignored. NG is going to spot some tanks that he does not want to get spot. Winch. They're basically pushing up and over. They do get spotted. Most of Legion does too. The Clippers are still hidden. NG not panning that shot. And now we see Edgar taking some damage. Basically damage being done quite quickly altogether. Missile hit into Orca. And he is getting out of that base. Base B is being capped and C is being capped as well. General crossing over. Now going not into base A. Basically the Leos are going after the Sheridans. And that miss is very telling here. Radicals trying to protect the Sheridans. We have the 268 landing a big hit into Spacey here. But there's 3 Leos. NG is almost gone. That missile here missing is very important here. Radicals moving in, but now in a difficult position. Nicolade and General both taking hits. 268 doing its job. And now the Leos have to be more careful. Spacey has been taken out. This is basically EG taking it. Basically going for a very amazing lineup, but not being able to take it home. There goes General. And now Edgar is being stopped from capping. We have Winch dealing with Object 3. We have Nicolade and Juicy together with Rashford duking it out together. And Nicolade is... Oof, he does manage to survive that. Winch is still alive. And that bounce though. Oh my god, now he's probably going to kill Nicolade. But no. Basically Rashford saves him. Winch is running off. Dakudas has been taken out. Winch is not healthy. He's not going to survive for long. Neither is Nicolade. It is 3 versus 4. 3 versus 2. And Rashford is reloading. And Rashford is now going after. There you go. Object 3 has been taken out, but base B is being taken. Whoops takes out Nicolade. And now it's just Rashford versus 3 tanks. And Legion has 3 bases. And this is definitely Legion's game. Even with the low HP tanks that they have the mobility. And unless they go at him one by one, they should have this. All they need to do now is survive. And you see NG and Whoopsie running away, doing just that. Rashford staying closer by. Mainly just there as a warning system. Because they do expect him to come out there. He can clip radicals, but he's not going to be able to win this. And as he gets spotted, he does get shot at. And we see the Sheridans firing at the back as well. Rashford almost gone. 950 points. At this stage, he could just give himself up. And he does just that. Getting killed off by radicals. Angie landing a missile in the ground there. And the second game is for Legion. And again, what a game! Taking that very unconventional lineup. And it could have potentially worked, but Legion absorbed the push. 3.5 minutes, 4.7k damage for Object 3. That is telling. He was in the bush, protecting those Sheridans, shooting those Leos. And now we have a score of 1-1. And we know that at the very least it's not going to be a 5-0 like on the RU server. So now we are going on to the second map, which is Black Goldville. Looks like this: 3 bases, base A, the mat base, base B in the middle of the road, and base C behind some buildings. Basically, it's a tricky map, mainly because there's so many lines of fire and anything, and though base C is a lot more secluded, it's also a base that makes it difficult to get into and out of without getting shot at, and you can't really dominate 2 bases together with it. So that is the map that we are going to. And with just under a minute left to go, we see that Legion has now readied up in a 268 2 IS-4s, a T-22 medium, 2 E5s and a 140. And they're going to go up against 2 113s, 2 140s, a 215B, a Sheridan and an IS-4. Nick now Legion at the moment leaving those Sheridans behind. And that is interesting. We don't see much often. Don't see a lot of matches without the Sheridans being used by both teams. Because they can make such a difference, especially when it comes to running away. But when it comes to head-to-head brawls, then the Sheridan is less effective. And here we go, the countdown clock has begun for the 3rd match of this best of 9. The games are so quick though. Very quickly paced. And here we go. And let's see. It is funny to see the chat. Both teams are being cheered for, and it's just lovely. But this is for me the pinnacle of EU gameplay. And we see Legion focusing a bit on both sides, but mostly middle and A. Whereas EG is being a little bit unconventional, again going directly towards C, but leaving Spacey to overlook base B, because this is the thing, when you have the missiles. Oh, big hit into both Juicy and in Spacey. Spacey getting the blip out of there. But the position that he was in, narrowly being missed there, the position that he was in would have allowed him to reset base B cap. And now base A is being capped by Legion, base C has been capped. This means that EG will have a point advantage. And it's all about protecting base B and not getting basically flanked. Edgar moving in more forwards. The position that EG is in is a bit questionable for the main reason that with the way that Juicy is now positioned, he is in a position to also decap base B. Base B is basically off limits now. Angie looking to see if anyone to shoot, but no one is there. They know that there's people at base C, or at least that there were people at base C. He takes another hit into Spacey. Cheeky shot there. And he is left unpunished for it. EG not making any move just yet. But Spacey is basically the preferred target here. We have Whoops protecting the rear, making sure that base A is not going to be capped, but now driving through it to get back to the rest of the team potentially. And we see that Legion seems to be gearing up for a push around base C with the E5s there pushing in. NG now have been spotted. The 113s and the 215B at the back. And we see the first shots happening. The E5s pushing in, going after that camp. Even if they only standed it in a little while, they would have the advantage. Kill the snack. Not landing that hit. The Radicals though, taking massive hits. But now it's 4 guns versus basically 2 guns. The rest of EG is arriving, but it may be too late. Nicolade being absolutely slaughtered here. Whoops making his way in. But there goes Nicolade. Now Lego being caught in the corner. Literally impossible for him to get out of that. Lost. Losing quite a bit of HP as well. But Lego is going to be the second gun gone before Legion has even lost 1 gun. We have Edgar arriving at the back, going to take out Juicy. There he goes. It's actually Kill the Snack that does it. But there goes Winch. And now we have a massive gun advantage on Legion's side. They are ignoring Edgar to kill the Snack. Pun intended. Edgar moving in. Killing off Lost. But losing a heck lot of HP for it. He is almost gone. And then we only have Spacey. The guy that lost HP first. The last one left. And basically taking the shot, but staying where he is, getting tracked as well, I believe, so that doesn't help. But not even attempting, getting pushed out, and Dakudas finishes him off. And this game is for Legion as well. This was basically, I kind of expected some very patient gameplay today. This is anything but. 3.5 minutes. It's sort of like build slowly and then it's like, yeah, let's rush that side and then kill everyone. And that works. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go into the 4th match of this best of 9. Again, no real pressure. The team that reaches 5 victories first is the one that is the grand champion. And anything can still happen. We have Legion now ready in a 268, 3 IS4s, 2 E5s and 140. And they're going to go up against a 113, 2 140s, a 215B, 2 E5s and a Sheridan. That is if Nicolay decides to ready up in the 113, of course. And let's see, no, he's taking an IS4 instead. A little bit more armor, a little bit less DPM. And let's see what they do with it in 50 seconds. We get to see. Basically, these games are over way too quickly. I really wanted the very long tactical games because I love that. But this is quite fun as well because you see how quickly it can change. Those pushes though, amazing. Half a minute left to go. And then we go into the match. Second match on Black Goldville. And then we switch maps again. And let's see. If you want to get season coins, by the way, you have to watch through the portal. You can't get it through here. And you have to make sure you are logged in on the portal with your EU account. And let's see. It seems like both basically EG inspired Legion in a way. With that first quick game with the quick push, they're just basically doing the same thing now. And let's see. Here we go. In the meantime, I am seeing some people talking about the frame. I am limited to 1 screen. I can't make my game any bigger than this. So we have EG focusing on base A. Legion doing a bit of the same but going a bit crossways with Whoopsie going towards base C. Base A is being kept. Base B is unattended and so is base C. Nick Whoopsie taking a blind shot at the back there. We see a missile flying and not panning. I think it even missed. And Spacey is moving away, but staying close by. And let's see. Base C almost being kept. Nicolade is pretty much on his own. Kill the Snack is behind him, but it will be very difficult for him to pull back if he has to get out of there. And let's see. At this stage, not much is happening. Whoopsie pulled back. Angie is holding with him. They are there to protect base C. Whoopsie now heading around the back back towards his own team. EG rotating a little bit as well. But pretty much nothing happening. A bit of a standstill. But EG has a tanks advantage. And it means that Legion will at some point have to make a move here. Lost and Juicy holding the ramps together to take action if anything happens around base B. We have Winch and General now making a move at the back. Crossing over unspotted. Spacey not going with them. Legion expecting movement at the back, but not seeing any just yet. Angie going to the corner, but he is alone. He is a lone target, and that could be dangerous. We have now Whoops moving in, potentially not necessarily to cap base A, but more to stand in it for a while and keep EG from getting points from it, because he is in a position where he can get shot at, but not from the position that EG is in right now. Base A being stolen like this, very cheeky, but they're getting away with it. Rashford unable to push through and decap it, and now Legion has 2 bases and EG has none. Legion pushing in, going after Rashford. Sensing weakness, Rashford is getting out of there, but he is getting shot for it. And we see that Edgar also losing HP, Juicy now getting tracked, Angie losing HP. There's basically 3 tanks are duking it out with Angie at base C, but that means that EG is sorely underrepresented on this side, and that gives Legion a very big advantage, because Angie is still alive and EG has already lost Rashford. Juicy going to shoot, kill the Snack possibly? No, they are focused on Edgar. And there goes Edgar, Whoopsie taking him out. And in the meantime, Angie only just died and EG lost 2 tanks to their team trying to take out Angie at base C. Base C is now being kept, but it's pretty much to no avail. They are missing the gun. Kill the Snack has been taken out. Winch still trying to cap, even though his team is being absolutely massacred. It is 5 versus 4. Whoopsie, not too healthy. Object 3, getting a massive hit into General here. General going to be dead at Dagada's next reload. Dagada takes the hit, but it's actually Radicals that takes him out. Whoopsie is being taken out. And now they are focusing on Nicolade. Basically, Object 3 is now turning to potentially kill Spacey. But now it is very tricky indeed. Object 3 has been taken out. Radicals is next in line, having taken a big hit, but Nicolade is getting shot from multiple sides. Winch is taking shots and trying to kill Radicals, but getting hit in turn. We have Spacey that is coming up behind him, going to take out Radicals, but he loses HP and actually gets killed before he can. Winch still alive, but running off. And we have, there you go, Radicals takes him out, and again Legion hits 1k point. And they win. In this case, EG is sending 3 tanks to get base C, having to deal with NG, and it taking so long to take him out is what lost them the game here and what won Legion the game, because Legion just pushed the moment that they knew that there were 3 tanks over there, which meant that they had a massive advantage on their side. And now it is 3-1, and we are going to Dynasty Pearl. Let's see. This is the map that we're going to. 3 bases. Base A in the middle of a sort of city square. Base B between the buildings, and base C in a park. Overall, the positions around the park are the ones that are most used, and we generally see a lot of action around base B and base C, with A pretty much ignored except for a fast tank getting sent there. So that is the map that we're going to now. And in just over a minute we'll enter the 5th battle of this best of 9, and Legion is taking 2 Ice Force, 2 Mice, an E5 and 2 140s. And on EG's side we see 2 Ice Force, 3 Ice Force, 3 113s and an STB. And that is a pretty tricky lineup as well. Anything can happen. The pressure is not there yet, but EG needs to regroup. That first game was absolutely sublime. But they've sort of lost it since then and made some, well, not necessarily questionable decision, but things that have led to their defeat, like the sending the 3 tanks to base C, because it just left them too vulnerable. 20 seconds left before we go into the game. And then we'll see what happens on the first match on Dynasty Spiral, with only Legion taking the super heavies now. Usually we do see them on both sides, either with the Mice or with the E100s. And let's see. Here we go. And seriously, after the first match, Legion definitely regrouped and they've been punishing EG ever since. But like I said, Legion has been in sublime state this whole season. They've done absolutely epic things and it's been absolute joy to watch them. And of course then you have the whole donut worshipping that's been happening on New Bay, which has been a lot of fun. And now we see that WoT is heading towards base C. The Mice, no, he's not going to C, he's going towards base B more. And I think this is because they know that EG is not taking any super heavies. So they're foregoing base C altogether. And they're focusing on the A side. That is clever. And they're capping together, which means that they will have the base sooner than EG will definitely have it. And the Mice are holding at the back. NG taking a somewhat questionable position. And being the odd one out. Taking a hit there into Winstow. And EG is pushing. EG is pushing the Mice. And we see Legion rotating around. And NG angling himself, having taken most of HP, most of Winch's HP already. And even though NG is not going to survive this forever, he has been doing a lot of damage already. Juicy is moving in. NG is losing more HP. We see a lot of adrenalines. Legion is going after Edgar, singling out the singular target. NG is still alive, but there he finally goes. But it's cost EG a lot of HP to do this. And their guns are pushing in. Legion is creating a crossfire. Last has been taken out, but so has Edgar, and that means that 2 more guns from Legion are now free to join the massacre. There goes Winch, having survived a lot longer than we thought he would. Both teams have lost 2 guns. HP wise it is relatively close, but Legion does have an advantage, and now they have a gun advantage as well. Object 3 is still alive, if barely. And now Orca is being focused on. That bounced off the corpse somehow. And there we go. Whoopsie getting focused on by Lego. But now EG is basically splitting up. And Juicy is contenting himself with Nicolade as Lego and goes after Whoops. And is met by both Radicos and Whoops. Spacey losing some HP. Dealing with Dakidas at the back. And we have Nicolade. But we are going to have a look at Spacey versus Dakidas here. STB, as much as I absolutely love the tank, it is not a brawler. And there he goes. And now we only have Nicolade left. Oh, sorry. Now we only have Nicolade left. And he is basically left to fend off 4 Legion guns. And that's of course not going to happen. And now we are in the interesting position that Legion is at the point of match point next match. If they win another game, they will be the grand champions for the EU server. And again, it is Radicals that gets the last kill. It's sort of like tradition, this matchup. And let's see. Again, relatively quick game, just over 3 minutes. And look at the amount of people that got more than 1k XP though. That is definitely telling as well. And again, Legion anticipating the push and absorbing it. And just taking out the singular targets, holding long enough. This is the strength of the mice. They were holding together, and that allowed for the 2 fast tanks, Dakidas and Boops, to go after Edgar and then circle around to deal with the rest. Very nicely played so far. But EG is now at a massive disadvantage. They have to win the next 4 games in a row in order to become Grand Champion. And Legion only has to win 1 more. So we see that Legion has readied up in 2 IS-4s, 3 mice and 140 and an E5. And they're going to go up against no less than 4 IS-4s, 2 mice and an E100. So that is a very different lineup. The fast tanks are being left behind. Except for Whoops, who keeps his fast tank. And let's see. 40 seconds left to go before we go into the 6th match of this best of 9. And like I said, potential match point for Legion already. We've only been at it for like half an hour. This includes all the 2-minute waiting time in between the matches. The matches are over so fast. I do know that I have to go and stream those, so I will stream at least for another half hour. I will fill it up with some replays and stuff, just to entertain you. Zero Iron is saying that it's not mice, it's mouse. But the thing is that it's 1 mouse, 2 mice. So yes, I'm saying mice. And here we go. 3 seconds left before we go into this match. And let's see if Legion is going to take it home already. To be fair, if I wanted to do officially, it is 1 mouse and 2 Möse, I think it is. But my German isn't as good as my English, so I'm sticking to mice. So let's see what's going to happen here. In the potential match point game. AG will definitely have to bring it now. And let's see. Legion going more towards the base C side with Radicals and Whoopsie going towards base A. And all of EG focusing on the base C side. The mice will potentially go into the middle. But we'll have to see. Whoopsie grabbing base A early. Nicolate getting spotted. 2 of the mice heading towards base C. Radicals heading more towards base B. I'm going to face off with Orca and Rashford potentially there. They do spot each other. Rashford gets tracked. And pretty much now, Winch taking some damage in his mouse. Radicals holding in the middle. Whoopsie taking a position to get some shots into the mice here. Or even potentially onto the other side. And with them having the base, Legion does not need to take any risks. It will be up to EG to make a move. Rashford trying to angle himself and thus taking it from Whoops as he pulls back together with Orca. And we have now Juji pushing in together with NG. Lost taking a little bit of HP damage here. And the mice are pushing. And this means that now we have Radicals moving into the middle. Ignoring the mouse that could be shooting his back. Rashford being engaged by Whoopsie. Winch getting shot at. We have 3 tanks on 2 tanks here. The IS-4s and the E5 going after EG's IS-4s. And big hit into Dakudas, even setting him on fire. That is not good for his HP. But Winch is the first one to go, followed by General. And there goes Dakudas. Orca almost reloaded. Getting Whoopsie behind him. Bouncing that shot on the IS-4, which is very important here for Legion. Because now Juicy is losing a lot of HP. He's not going to be surviving for long, but he does take another hit into Rashford. I'm trying to show you all the battles that are happening. Angie pushing in. There goes Juicy. And Angie is engaging the E100. Object 3. Oof, nice double tap by Whoopsie and Object 3 taking out Rashford. There goes Orca. Now we have Lego, Edgar and Nicolate left. But again, even though Lars may not survive this, he does get killed. This will be Legion's game. It is 3. Oh, no, it's 3 versus 3. Anything can happen. Never mind me. But it kind of depends on whether or not they take out Lego in time. Whoops not taking that hit is very important. but bouncing that is as well. We have Engie in the mouse trying to come over, but it will be dangerous. Object 3 is now alone and actually pulling back, which allows EG to focus him some more. Literally getting himself cornered here. And bouncing on Lego. We have Engie now arriving. Lego has arrived. And there is a big chunk of armor to have against you. Edgar not looking too healthy. Object 3 shooting him in the back, and there he goes. And now it's definitely Legion's game. Very quick games all around. Legion taking it home. Legion, the grand champions of the EU server. And with the end of Nicolate, thus ends the game. And Legion takes it home 5-1. Amazing. Massive congratulations to Legion for winning this. They've taken it. Look at the damage though. Look at this. 5.5 for Nicolate, but 5.6 for Whoops. 4.5 for Object 3 and 4.0 for Engie. Yes, it is a tournament game and it's a team game. And it does not necessarily mean that damage is all that important because you're working as a team. But it is telling when people get to do that much damage. Amazing games, honestly. Really amazing. They were over way too fast, less tactical and much more rush filled than I expected them to be. But Legion took it home 5-1. Massive congratulations to Legion again, but also to EG for a very honorable second place. And Loka, of course, in third. Doing a fantastic job as well. They did make it this far, even if they don't take home the Grand Champion title, like Legion does. The Donut Boys, praise be to Donut. And they did it. So with that, I still have quite some time to go before we actually can end the stream, because yeah, the coin stream will go on for at least another half hour thereabouts. So that means that I will show you some replays, and who better to show you replays from than from Legion themselves. I do have a few games, so I'm going to show that. And here we go. Let's start with this one. Fallen in the Ice 4. Let's see. But basically, games like we saw today, these are the reasons that I stream tournaments. It is not as tactical, but it was out of the box thinking, especially the first game, to be fair. I was happily surprised with that. And the rest, it was more like Legion falling back into their old routine. Their old routine, because the way that Legion won their Twister, that was basically just being very effective at pushing and being just pretty much YOLO pushing, but getting away with it, having that focus fire and everything. And that is somewhat alike to what we saw today. There was not as much tactical gameplay to it, but just very early pushes and basically catching your enemy off guard, because if you are pushing before they expect anything to happen, it is difficult to find your balance again. So let's see what Fallen is going to do here. Now we have the E1 pushing in, getting tracked and getting hit. Fallen wants to take him out, but he kind of has to be careful not to expose too far. There you go. That is the first gun gone, but they've lost one as well. We have the T62A there. A little bit of a derp in the replay. And let's see. We have the E1 there. Different E1, to be fair. Very different tank. Do love this tank. And it's one of the tanks that is very hard to ace, because basically the ace line for it has been very high. Nice high roll there. And he gets taken out as well. This is basically, I was talking about it earlier, if you want to ace a tank, you kind of need multiple things. You need some skill, you need some luck, and you need the right kind of potatoes. And you need those on both your team and on the enemy team. He is wiggling there, but he need not to, because the T-60A decides to shoot the sand rather than the tank. And the SU at the back is still waiting there, but he bounces that. There you go. The T-60A really wants him, but he takes a hit now. We have the Batchet in the middle, dealing with the Conqueror and the Death Star. T-62A focusing on the target rather than the tank right in front of him, which is a good call to be fair. Can't fault that. And now Fallen has to be careful. He is going, oof, he is being focused on. T-62A has been taken care of. T-62A is not a happy camper. SU is being very special. You're like right in front of his face. What do you expect him to focus on, honestly? And let's see. There we go. And let's see, only well, he has only one friend left. And we know that the DS is behind there somewhere. And he has to be careful. He is wanting to shoot that E5, but he is taking quite a bit of a chance to do it. And there we go. Centurion wanting to get shot by the DS potentially there. And he bounces the E5. No, I'm not sure that was the E5 actually. But he shoots the 1A3 instead. So he has to be careful. He can shoot the cupola, especially when he's angled like that. Death Star bounces. And now, oof. That guy from Scotland is not a happy camper. Conqueror taking a hit. E5 waiting just below. And basically the tank that has... what did he get again? Way too much gun depression in any case. Is complaining about the IS-4 being OP. Whatever floats your boat, I suppose. Cheeky shot, I like it. His teammate is still alive. But the Conqueror is not yet being taken out, and that is a tank that I feel they should focus on here. Oof, nice high roll. Let's see, Conqueror has finally been taken out. So now we just have this E5 and the Death Star. E5 taking out it. We're already 7.2k damage and I feel like I should point that out. Let's see. Oof, that shot missing by a mile. But now the DS is reloading. Taking another hit. And bouncing that one. So now Fallen is being careful, bouncing that shot. But he has to be careful, he can't really peek out too. But now the DS is fired and now he can make that move. But he takes a hit in turn. And let's see. And oof, that bounced though. Centurion in the meantime has taken out the DS. He is going to take out this tank as well. Nope, Fallen gets him. 7.7k damage. T-62A is really not happy. And let's see. Nice steel wall here. 1743 base XP. That is not nothing. A little bit of assisted damage as well. Some missed and bounce shots, but overall a really epic game. And this is exactly the IS-4 being as strong as it is right now. So let's see, what else have I got for you? Like I said, I do have a bunch of replays from Legion and I'm going to show them. Let's see. Where are they? Here's one for you. Driven by the main man himself. Whoopsie. In the Clan Wars camo. And let's see what they're gonna do. Basically, like I said, I'm so glad that this tank is getting nerfed and that it's getting nerfed hard. But for now, it is still highly enjoyable. And if you want to drive a very OP tank, this is the tank to drive. It is the, together with the E1, I believe, the most driven tank in the game by far. And that is the main reason that Wargaming is not removing it from the game. Which is, to be fair, very understandable if it's the most driven tank. The thing is, I do enjoy the tanks. I do not enjoy the missiles. And that for me is where the issue is with the missiles. The tanks, yes, keep them, but give them a normal gun. Let's see. Funny thing is, I do see some people saying things like, nice shot, and I've actually no idea what moment they're talking about because there's a delay of 5 minutes on the stream. But overall, throughout this season, I followed Legion pretty much every Thursday, both in the professionals actually, but also in the Ascents before that. And even though the Ascent tournaments, it was just about getting the tickets, so it was pretty much meme battles. But it was a lot of fun, and I do want to thank them for that, because pretty much this tournament would have been the same without them. That is a very lovely shot, patiently taken. And now he's just going in, getting himself stuck a little bit. Base C has been kept, so they have the advantage there. And now he's actually using the IS-7 and the mouse for cover as he gets the shots in. But the mouse is actually being blocked by the IS-7, and that's not a good thing. So we have the STI here. And he does take a hit from that as he bounces on him. So he has to be a little bit careful. He does not really want to be there anymore, I believe. FV is finally taken out. We have the Type 61 that is shooting the Standard B. And Whoops is at a bit of an indecision of where to go and what to do. So he decides to just missile them, because why not? But now they have a T-62A arriving at the back there. And he is basically trying to see if he can get out of there in a way that will not make him get killed. T-62 just fired, taking a big hit there. The mouse now also focusing on him. This is giving Whoopsie some nice assisted damage. And he has to be careful with that Jagdtiger that is arriving at the back. Dot shot not panning is an issue. It is 3 versus 5 at this stage. Jagdtiger is arriving. And he has to be careful. But this shot is just lovely. Taking out the T-62A, the Jagdtiger missing him, which is also a very good thing. So now he's moving in instead of away, and I do understand because he can use the mouse for cover and at the same time help the mouse deal with the T-57 Heavy. He doesn't do any damage with that shot though, and that is a massive problem, especially with the Jagdtiger arriving and shooting him in the rear. T-57 Heavy still can't shoot him. And these bounces! I still don't know how these happen, to be fair. And he does finally get one, and now the T-57 Heavy is a one shot. And with Whoopsie reloading, he is relocating as well, and that is a good call. Because now he's in a Codoband situation, but he can kill off the T-57 Heavy with just some HE. And now he just has to relocate again. The mouse gets a GG, I do like that. That is fair play. And Whoops is just waiting around. The Jagdtiger is there. And this is basically a great spot. He is in a missile spot right now. He can't get shot from there, but he can definitely get the shots in without being able to get hit. There's just 3 tanks left. He can potentially do this, but it will be a tough call. So he missiles again and kills off the STI, leaving only the Jagdtiger and the E100. But it's mainly that E100 that is going to be an issue here. So he has to be careful. He is doing the missile thing again. Shooting the Jagdtiger. But the E100 is not having it and is just going straight on in. And this is particularly the difficult part. He bounces another shot. I mean, this is a light tank, ladies and gentlemen. Bouncing is not something that he should be doing. E100 missing is definitely helping. We are at 875 points. All he has to do at this stage is just survive. So what he's doing now is very clever. He is not going towards base B. He's taking some more health, doing 5k damage now. And he is staying where he is. It's the E100 again that he has to be careful about. No, he's not going to go B. He's in an excellent position here. Jagdtiger misses again. He gets a nice high roll, doing 5.7k damage already. The E100 is driving into a building. And now he has the choice to either win the game straight off and kill the Jagdtiger or go after the E100. But he makes the right call here and kills off the Jagdtiger and wins the game. I absolutely love this game, to be fair. Mainly because it's just so thought through. 1679 base XP, 6.5k damage. Very nicely done. Absolutely epic. So 10 minutes left to go before I end the stream. Well, 11 technically speaking. And if you've watched from the beginning, then you will have all the rewards that are there. Let's see. I have another Legion replay for you. So I'm going to show that off. We've already seen Fallen, but we're going to see him again. Basically, this is a little bit my ode to Legion. After having them won the Grand Champion title. George is asking what my YouTube channel is. It is Amonet85. You see... yeah, well, you see actually the Ladybug logo. And it's been in the in-game use and everything, so you can find me there as well. So let's see. We see a missile already hitting there. And this is a tank. It was my 3rd to 10 tank. I went basically for all the TDs. And Sheridan is going to the harbor because that is basically what you do there. Nice hit into the enemy Sheridan. That is... Let's see. He is holding in the spot. This is a very cheeky spot to be at, to be fair. It will be very difficult for people to actually shoot you here. Especially since you're not exposed enough for people on the other side where the mouse is now going to shoot you. Sheridan basically missing that shot because the Sheridan moved back. I'm not sure when the update will come. I know that it's in June somewhere because that is what Wargaming said, but that's where it is. Also, I'm not a Wargaming employee, so I don't know this information exactly. Chieftain making this very easy. And the mouse getting another hit in, but the mouse going pretty much YOLO at this stage. Getting hit by a missile from the other side. And we have Fallen moving in to help him. Bouncing a shot from the E50M there. And now the E4 is a juicy target. E1 is telling the team what to do. The mouse just died. But the mouse went YOLO. And the mouse says, oops! But let's see. E50 getting HE to death. The E4 now moving in. E4 is actually a tank I like more than the E3, but the E3 is technically more OP. It is stronger, but I think I like the fact that the E4 has a bit of a turret and that allows it to basically do more. The Grill takes out the E4, the Sheridan takes out the Sheridan. And now we have a 3 versus 5, but the 3 on this team are all TDs. And that is always a tricky situation. So now we have the Sheridan at the back. We have the 704 that is going in relatively YOLO. And with the Object 704 focusing on the Jagdtiger, Fallen decides to shoot him as well. But now, with the Sheridan above there, actually peeking out a little bit, he decides to shoot him and he gets a nice high roll. And we see the missile fly overhead. And now we have the 704 that is almost gone. Sheridan not being a happy camper here. Pun intended. And let's see, 2 tanks left. We have a Jaeger. And that is not a tank you really want to be against. But there he is, arriving at the scene. First shot is bouncing. And with the E3, you do have a good prola. It is not easy to hit. But you do have it, and you can get absolutely massacred for it. So you have to be careful. Nice big hit there. E75 arriving at the back. And now he has the choice to either deal with the Jäger or go after the E75. And this is basically pushing against him. The Jäger firing on the move. And that means a bounce. Jagdtiger arriving. Neither of them focusing on the Jagdtiger. And the Jagdtiger takes out the Jäger. The E75's lost friend. 6.6k damage so far. He is HEing the E3 because that is apparently what you do. If you're against a massive heavy TD, you're going to shoot it with HE. Okay. Jagdtiger gets another shot in before he's killed. And that means that the E75 gets killed for 21 HP and a flying turret. And Fallen takes it home. 7.3k damage. Nice high caliber. 5 kills, 1670 base XP. Overall, just lovely, lovely games. So let's see. Do I have more Legion replays? Yes, I do. I just need to find them. And they are games that I've shown before, but not on this channel because it's the official Blitz channel, not my own. So I'm going to show you them anyhow. This is actually a game very worth watching. It is a game I've shown before by WoT Carrier and Satan. Of Satan, not actually sure. But it is a beauty of a game. And it's one of those games you need some form of potatoes on both enemy teams in order to do well together. And let's see. Team wants to go right. This camo does look good on the E5 though. Let's see. Tank's getting spotted going there. And Bolt is like, nope. I'm not going to the corner. And basically this is a fun thing to do. Because what he's doing now, and you'll see how well that will work, is basically trolling. He is troll capping. This is basically not him being there with the intention to cap. This is him being there with the intention to lure the enemies towards him, because the enemy will respond if you go and cap a base. And that starts with an E3 there, who bounces a shot, but it also started with the Motion basically pushing right on in. And Satan and Ollie, WoT Carrier, are basically making short use of that, murdering the Moiskin as he tries to focus on either and both of them, and it's not really working out for him. E3 still trying to get the shots in. And now the Moiskin is already one hit. This is what I like about Toon games. You can do so wonderfully well together. And now we have the E3 there. And that shot panned. He misses. And we have Satan going into the square, also shooting the E3. I still have no idea how this shot panned, but it did. Satan landing another shot. And now coming in quite brutally. That shot bounced. And the E3 misses. And with the E3 now focusing on Satan, that means he's looking the other way and Bolt kills him off. That is 2 tanks they've taken down together, but this is kind of like, I love Toon games like this. If you have a good Toon partner, it can be such a wonderful thing to just play together and have games like this. Basically the coordination together. He is again troll capping. They are losing teammates steadily but surely. That shot did not pan. He is not having the best of luck with HE this battle, by the way. The Leo is almost gone. He is still capping. He has no reason to cap. He's not capping to cap. He doesn't want to win that way. But he's purely doing this in order to draw them out. And this is the funniest thing. He is shooting HE and he does a whopping 49 damage. The Patton hiding before he can. The E1 taking another hit from Satan. We have the Death Star at the back there, but bounces a shot. But now the E1 is a one-shot. Satan is basically helping him. And there goes the E1 with a nice bounce to boost. And again, he is capping, but he's not capping to cap. That is not the point of this. Again, like I said, he's not having the best of luck with the HE shots this battle. And let's see. Gorilla now pushing in. And that does do a little bit of fire, so he does get some extra damage, but that was a big low roll. Now we have the Death Star missing at the back. And none of them are actually making a move to get in. So with the Death Star now moving, that leaves the grill here. We are at 65 points, and this is something. If you look at the minimap, there you go. Basically, say the pattern just peeked around the corner and got shot for it. Satan was just waiting for him, expecting him to be there. And now, Death Star taking another hit. Gorilla finally moving in. He has no choice. He has to make a move if he wants to keep Bolt Carrier from winning. And this is again a derp. But like I said, he was never capping to actually cap. So the grill coming in is only serving their purpose, because now there's only the Death Star left. And they basically, Satan is very low on HP. But Bolt has plenty of health, especially when the 183 derps their HG like that. And Satan kills him off. And Bolt does a 4.9k damage game. And let's see. 4.9 for both of them. And this is something, this is what I mean. This is a beautiful turn damage game. And I feel that that is definitely a show game to end with. 1410 base XP for Bolt. 1367 base XP for Satan. Both doing 4.9k damage. Bolt with the top gun. Satan just not because there weren't enough tanks for that. 4 minutes 20 all in all. That is a relatively short battle to do this much damage together. And it's just beautiful. But that is it for me tonight. That was my sort of ode to Legion. Massive congratulations to Legion again for being the Grand Champion for the spring season for the EU server. It's been absolutely fantastic. If you're looking for me, if you look at my in-game name here, it's Camonet, but if you remove the C, that is how you spell my in-game name, and that is where you can find me on YouTube. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and you should have all the rewards now if you started watching from the beginning, especially with the delay being added. And like I said, it's been absolutely massive fun. Also, thank you to EG and Loka and all the other teams that we've been streaming over the last pretty much 2 months. It's been fun, and there can only be one champion, and that is Legion. Have a good night, everyone. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye!